The more we see of Spider-Man Homecoming, the cooler his new costume is looking, and it seems this version of the Spider suit's many gadgets and gizmos will take their cues from the comics. We know Peter Parker got this costume from his new pal Tony Stark in Captain America: Civil War, which explains the high-tech upgrades. Take the web shooters, which, according to Sony's marketing, have, quote, selectable web types and a laser targeting system. Of course, in the comics, Spider-Man has always been able to shoot different types of webs, and now the MCU Spidey can too. The gauntlets do a lot more than that, though. We saw at the end of Civil War that Peter can access some kind of holographic display and computer network with them. And they've also got a GPS tracking system with holographic maps, handy for when a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man wanders out of the neighborhood. This projection could also double for the old Spidey signal from the comics as well. Stark's filled the costume with other tricks, too. Take this flying spider emblem thingy. We're thinking this is a new version of Peter's age-old spider tracers, those little devices he uses in the comics to track criminals. In the pages of the Superior Spider-Man, this idea was morphed into an army of spider bots that were used to patrol and monitor New York City. Perhaps this Homecoming version falls more along those lines, with a flying drone aspect to it as well. But that doesn't mean Spider-Man can't fly off on his own with this costume. Or maybe glide is a better way of putting it. The web wings here seem to go back to the character's earliest designs by artist Steve Ditko. Meanwhile, a new twist on the suit is its very practical vacuum fitting function, which allows Peter to slip in and out of the costume with the touch of a button. And then of course, those new lenses he wears don't just give him expressive eyes. A line in Civil War also implies that this Spider-Man has so much sensory information coming in that he needs to filter it out in some way.
They just kind of help me focus.
You're in dire need of an upgrade.
That's why his original homemade suit had those goggles. And speaking of which, that look will also play a big part in Homecoming. For something a teenager just threw together, you've got to admit, it works pretty well. For even more on Spider-Man Homecoming, swing on over to IGN.